If you need everything to go your way or you crumble, like it's not even a man. You don't want that person to be your business partner. You don't want a person like that to be your significant other. So just don't be that type of person. If you want to have high quality people, you got to be one. Diego says, I'm proud to be here. I know it's a privilege, and I'm also very jealous of your fantastic couches like Jake and the new belt. Derek, could you talk about your setback, please, and how you overcame it? Thanks. Well, life is full of setbacks. You know, things just don't go like your way always. That's just not like, it's such an unreasonable thought, you know? It's only like a really weak coward that even has like a hope or anticipate, oh, everything's going to go my way every moment of every day. And, you know, and if it doesn't, I don't know how I'll deal with it. Well, I mean, it's not a man. Like of course there's going to be setbacks. If you're an athlete, you're going to have injuries. If you're, you know, doing things in the stock market, the market don't go straight up. It goes, you know, up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And over time it goes up. That's how it is, man. So, yeah, if you need everything to go your way or you crumble, like it's not even a man. You don't want that person to be your business partner. You don't want a person like that to be your significant other. So just don't be that type of person. If you want to have high quality people, you got to be one. And if every time, you know, something doesn't go your way, you're going to be a little crybaby about it, then, you know, it's a joke, really, man. So, I mean, the main sin that I made in the stock market is like, you know, say middle of November 2021, interest rates are super low, inflation's rising quickly, and, you know, the Federal Reserve Bank changed their policy after just saying in October that, oh, we're not going to raise rates for a couple of years. Then they start saying like, well, we got to raise the rates to fight inflation. And I thought they would talk about it, but I didn't think they were really going to do it as aggressively as they did. And, you know, why did I think that? Well, I thought that because why would they leave things how they were? You know, they let inflation happen for a year and a half. They just printed $7 trillion. They just put $7 trillion into the economy. And now magically they're going to, you know, have financial responsibility. So I didn't think the same people that made the decision to, you know, put out $7 trillion were now going to do a 180 and say, you know, oh, never mind, we're going to tighten things now. But they did. And, you know, that cost me over $10 million, maybe $11 million, about 11 million in the stock market. My account went down. And I mean, that's life. And then you got to look at that and be like, well, you know, I wish I would have saw that coming, but how could I see that coming? How would I have known that, like, the same people that just printed all the money are now trying to unwind that? Like, I mean, there's a dramatic change, of course, there, you know, dramatic. Yeah. I mean, they changed their course of action from what they were doing to something very different. So I didn't anticipate that. It cost me money. That's life. I'm not upset about it. It didn't hurt my feelings. It's just like, you know, you do the things that reality suggests that you should do. So there's nothing else about it. Like, you just get back to work, man. You know, get back to work. And, you know, if you can make 40 something million, 42 million, and then lose 11, like, you take that deal and go make some more money after that. There's no problem. But don't get your little feelings hurt by little setbacks. It's not respectable. Don't do that. Brian says, hey, Derek, thank you for having Jake on to reinforce a lot of the things we talked about over the weekend by putting in the work, championship mindset, and congratulations on the purple belt. You're welcome, Brian. Happy to see you. Hope you're doing well. And I look forward to seeing you again in a few months. Alex says, hi, Derek. Could you please talk about your trading and investing activities? My preference is for swing trading over a 1 to 4 month period. I've heard there are better chances for bigger profits and quicker. I think traders are mostly fucking idiots. And you can say swing trading, day trading, whatever kind of trading. The idea that you're going to buy an asset and, you know, it's going to change dramatically in price in a short period of time, and you're going to be able to predict that, you know, reliably, It's just crazy. Like, there's an underlying business, and you have to understand what are the key elements that are driving the revenue or failing to drive revenue, slash profitability. How does the business work? How does the business create significant revenue? What percentage do they get to keep? What do their expenses look like? What are the cost structures of running that business look like? And if you have a lot of revenue, but you have even more expenses, then you don't have a business. You have a bankruptcy filing in your future. So the idea that, I'm just going to, buy it and sell it in 1 to 4 months is like, well, you're not going to be able to do that consistently. And everybody on the internet will tell you can, and it's just not true. It's just not, people don't do that. And go look at the wealthiest investors and look at what their time horizon for how long they were holding those assets. And a guy like Buffett, there's things he bought 50 years ago that he still has. He doesn't want to sell. He still doesn't want to sell them 50 years later. So the ideal timeline to hold a business is to buy something that's going to be extraordinarily valuable in the future, have good earnings consistently, consistent growth, consistently good earnings. And you never want to sell it, versus this shit of like, I'm a trader. I mean, yeah, I make a trade here and there, but like I'll make a trade when I see people are panicked, and I think the panic is going to increase, and I think the stock market's going to go down in general because the government and media are manufacturing some fake hysteria or hyperbolizing some actual concern. I mean, that's a great time to short things if you feel confident about it. If I feel confident about it, like, I'll use options contracts or ETFs to short, various assets, or to short an index or a sector of the market, like consumer discretionary. But that's a few times per decade. I feel like, you're making a trade with a specific outcome in mind within a specific window of time. That's a few times per decade. And the idea that you're going to do that as a business is like, you're not. Like, you're just not. So, I mean, good luck. Good luck. If you go through the Markets Mastery course, you're going to learn, better ways to think about this that, likely to make you more money with less risk. Jason says, Derek, thanks for having Jake here, and congrats on the belt. The event this past weekend was fantastic. Success breeds success, quoting one of the speakers. Yeah, man, I'm happy you're there. I appreciate you coming consistently. And I look forward to seeing you again in a few months, buddy. Another question, Alex asks, if you could pick no more than 5 things for a serious individual to focus on and work on exclusively, what would they be, in order from most important to least? These are dumbass questions, honestly, because if you actually paid attention to the course, if you paid attention to even what I talked about on this call, you'd be able to answer your own question. So I'm not really impressed with those type of questions. Just think, bro. Like, use your head and just think, like, what are the things that we've talked about even on this call? We talked about things, Yuval made a nice post where we're talking about, the importance of consistency. We talk about the importance of creating accountability mechanisms. We talk about the importance of finding, if you want to have high level outcomes, then you're going to have to engage in abnormal behaviors. And if you want to optimize your engagement in abnormal behaviors so you can have abnormally amazing outcomes, then you're going to have the highest level coaches and trainers and mentors around you. And I mean, I've talked about this for the last 12 weeks. And then for somebody on week 12 to say, what are the 5 things? It's like, that's the idiot shit that's like some dumb that watches YouTube is thinking about a clickbait title. And it's like, the 5 things in order of importance. It's like, my life's not a clickbait title. I didn't have success in the areas that I have because I was worried about a flashy title or a list of, here's the 5 things. The people that make those type of videos or those type of lists, they make YouTube revenue. And, even ones that make a little money, they're still stupid. They just happen to have a following of idiots. There's like, the 5 things. Get the fuck out of here with your 5 things. If you paid halfway attention throughout here, you'd be able to make that list and you would know exactly what's on the list, and you would know you'd be doing it already. So I hope that question's halfway a joke, and I hope that you're taking your life more seriously than it seems from that question, bro. So I wouldn't want somebody in an audience, in a live event asking me that question. I'd be very annoyed. I'd be very annoyed asking me that question of like, oh, that's what you want to spend the masterminds group's time with? It's like, what's the 5 things, Jarek? It's like, why aren't you already doing them? You should already be doing them. You already know that, you have to have great coaches and mentors, or you already know that you have to show up consistently. You have to do boring things that other people are too dumb or too lazy to do. You know this shit. Some people are confused. They'd say, Derek, what is the 10 Commandments of wealth? Not the 10 maybes of wealth. It's the 10 core things that you're going to need to know about in detail if you'd like to accumulate significant wealth in your lifetime. Click this link up here to find more information, exactly what is the 10 Commandments of Wealth, how is the program structured, what's inside of it, how are you going to benefit from it. If you're doing well already and you'd like to do better, click that link and find out more. There's over 100 hours of content in this program. I've interviewed dozens of world champions that shared what it took for them to win, to be the top Hall of Fame athletes in their respective areas. And I brought a lot of other superstars in there from business, people that are real world entrepreneurs that made serious money, as I have myself. We all share with you what are the foundations you're going to need to know if you want to be successful yourself. Be a chooser, not a loser. Leave a comment if you want a business or success question answered, and subscribe for even more winning.